One thing I wanted to talk about today is employee engagement surveys or employee experience surveys. So, research has shown us time and time again that even the most well-intentioned of managers don't always know exactly how their employees feel. They may think they do, but again, research shows us that when we ask employees what's important to them and we ask managers, what do you think is important to your employees? They're not always the same, right? And so, as much as we build good relationships with our employees, as much as we try to really understand what motivates them and what makes them feel appreciated and recognized, the only people who truly know the employee experience are the employees. And so we've got to ask them if we truly want to make sure that we're giving our employees what they need to be successful and to deliver their best work for the organization. We can't guess how they feel or what they need. We really have to ask them the questions. So really encourage you to explore if you haven't already, or continue if you are doing employee experience surveys to find out just what people love about working for your organization and where they might be struggling a little bit, what you can do as an employer to create the best possible employment experience for your folks. And so what does this involve, right? Well, the first thing is, I mean, obviously you got to do the survey, and that involves asking the right questions. So, there's an art to survey design. You have to make sure that you're asking questions that really will solicit the information that you need to fully understand how they feel and most of all be actionable, right? Things that you can respond to. Uh, that's super important. And the thing I would mention as well is that the right questions today may be different from what the right questions were 2 years ago. The employment landscape has changed. Work has changed as we know it. And so even if you've been doing employee engagement surveys for 20 years, and if you have, hats off to you because that's wonderful. You may need to take a fresh look at the questions that you're asking because they may not be as relevant today as they were in the past. And so it's yes, asking the questions, but also making sure that they're the right ones that you're asking. Then once you've asked the questions and you've administered the survey, make the most of the data that you're getting back, right? A lot of times we see organizations receive the data and they quickly break it into these are the top three areas where we're doing really well, these are the bottom three where we're not doing really well. And they kind of forget about everything in the middle and just focus on kind of top and bottom. And those are important for sure. And they give you really important information that you can work with. But there's so much good, meaty information in the middle that you don't want to lose. So make the most of the data you've got. Really analyze it for patterns, for trends, for, if you can break things down by departments within your organization, you can find out, what departments really excel in certain areas. Maybe they can help the departments that are struggling a little bit. Like there's such a richness of information if you are asking good questions. And so I really encourage you to spend some time on the analysis portion of it to get the most meaningful information that you can from the data. And then probably goes without saying, but the final step is just to make sure that you're taking action and communicating back with your staff. It's true. It sounds kind of trite. We hear it over and over again, but it's repeated because it's valid, which is it's better to not ask the question at all than to ask it and then not do anything with the information. And so if you are going to ask the question and conduct the survey, make sure you are prepared to then communicate results and take action on what you've learned, right? So use that data to actually move your organization forward. Otherwise, you lose credibility with your employees, participation will go down, people won't see the value in answering the survey, taking the survey, and they'll, probably just be greater skepticism about your commitment to them and to the culture. So it's a wonderful thing to do. There's definitely a way to do it better by making the most of the data that you've got, by asking the right questions, and by committing to action after you've conducted the survey.